immunity during a historic Supreme Court argument. Let's just say that Judge Juan Merchan, he's not happy about this, okay? And they're now trying to let Harvey Weinstein out of jail as New York Appeals Court overturns Harvey Weinstein, his sex crimes conviction, and orders a new trial. We got Rudy Giuliani, Mark Meadows accused of Arizona's fake elector scheme. We've got Manhattan District Attorney. We've got Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg warning YouTube, putting YouTube on notice. We're gonna get into all of these things today. And Donald Trump, he got the morning started off today on the right foot. Did you guys catch the union workers cheering Donald Trump on, returning to New York City after he stopped at this construction site? I mean, they say unions aren't very big for Trump. Well, they seem pretty big for Trump this morning. Did you guys catch that? Now, before we really get into this thing, all I ask is that you guys take 1 second, hit the like button for the video. I totally appreciate you guys. I also want to thank y'all, as always, for sharing these videos with your friends on Facebook, on Twitter, everywhere you like to share videos. I really do appreciate you guys. We got a bunch of people in here already. We got John Lighton in the house. We got Dark Matry. We got the Salt Lakers. Carlo Gagliano, John Gardner, Jennifer. Oh man, where's Jennifer? Sorry, Jennifer. We got so many people that are coming in here. I really do appreciate you guys. So let's get started. So former President Donald Trump, he made a statement. He always makes a statement, right? When does Donald Trump not make a statement? So Donald Trump, he made a statement after the Supreme Court's very important hearing on the presidential immunity, suggesting that it was made very clear that the president should, in fact, have immunity from prosecution. Now, before we get into that, Donald Trump, he did something this morning because you know the Judge Juan Merchan, he doesn't like Donald Trump, and he's effectively playing his role of holding Donald Trump in court and keeping him off the campaign trail. Well, as creative as Donald Trump is, and that's what's required of being a savvy entrepreneur, a savvy businessman, right? So Donald Trump said, hey, I know what you're trying to do to me, Judge. You're going to keep me in this court all day long. You're going to keep me in this trial. You're not going to let me attend my son's graduation, my son's high school graduation. You're also not going to allow me to attend the hearing from the Supreme Court regarding the immunity, the presidential immunity. So you know what, Judge? I'm going to go ahead and make sure I go ahead and talk to my people before trial. So what Donald Trump did was he hit up this construction site. I want to say it was in Manhattan, New York City. And I mean, you used to hear that Donald Trump doesn't have any support from the union workers, but apparently either something has changed or or the media is lying to us. One of the two, maybe it's both. So Donald Trump vowed today that he's going to run very hard in New York. And during a surprise visit to a Manhattan construction site ahead of his court appearance, Delray Manis hit me up with a $9.99 super chat. I totally appreciate you, my brother. Thank you so much. God bless you. Thank you very, very much. And so basically, Donald Trump shocked a lot of folks, and he rolled through with Secret Service. Your boy Lou Valentino was on site yet again. And as a matter of fact, I don't know if you guys caught him, but Lou ended up getting his, he had a red discipline hat signed by the man himself, Donald Trump, which was very cool because it was live streamed. So that was pretty freaking cool. And I mean, you could hear the chants, the energy in the crowd, and you had a very diverse crowd of people. You had white people, black people, Dominicans, Puerto Ricans. You had Asian folks in the crowd. You had everybody out there, Cuban. There were so many different nationalities in the crowd that were represented. Union workers, blue collar workers. There were some white collar workers in there as well. But it was a very, very good crowd. And Donald Trump got a whole lot of love. And I was really impressed by how much time Donald Trump spent actually talking to the people this time. Because when he was in, I want to say it was last week, These weeks are flying by now. I want to say it was like last week, Thursday, Donald Trump was in Harlem, and he was at the bodega, and basically he went inside the bodega after the Secret Service had dropped him off. He did a couple waves or whatever, but he quickly went inside of the store. He was in there for about 2, 3, 4 minutes. And then when he came back out, he did a quick wave to the crowd and then spent the majority of his time talking to the media, and spent very little time with the people. I know he's a busy man, and I know that was actually probably a very dangerous place for him to be, because there was a lot of I don't want to say that they were like brownstones, but you know, the stores, they had like stores on the bottom, and then like maybe like 3, 4 stories up, there's like apartments. Anyway, there was a lot of them. And I was thinking from a security standpoint, even with snipers and Secret Service, I felt like it was probably pretty dangerous. So that's probably why they wanted to get Trump out of there quickly. But today, this morning, Donald Trump spent a lot of time with the folks, with the people, talking to people, and really being down to earth, which you typically don't see from, you know, that level of person, because you just kind of almost can't, because you're almost too high profile, if that makes sense. But Donald Trump made his presence felt, and the energy was there. So you know, comment down below if you think that it's possible for Donald Trump to turn New York from a blue state to a red state. If you think it's possible, type in red in the comment section down below. All right, so former President Donald Trump, he made a statement after the Supreme Court today, after the Supreme Court's very important hearing on presidential immunity, suggesting that it was made very clear that a president should in fact have immunity from prosecution. Wow, we got a lot of people typing in red. Scott 2412, John Gardner typing in red. Rich, okay, Rich Rabbit, Jennifer, what's going on? Okay, so anyway, yeah, so Trump has made it very clear that a president should in fact have immunity from prosecution, right? And so this came as Donald Trump spent, I don't know, several hours in a Manhattan courtroom today during his criminal trial charges over, you know, the whole situation with Stormy Daniels and DA Alvin Bragg bringing up these charges against Donald Trump for this hush money, you know, case. Anyway, so Donald Trump has pleaded not guilty to all 34 of these erroneous charges that they're, you know, hitting him with: falsifying business records in the first degree. His criminal trial, which is unrelated to the Supreme Court hearing, is actually a part of an investigation by Alvin Bragg into his business practices. So while Donald Trump was in court, the Supreme Court was holding a hearing to discuss presidential immunity in another case, right? And so this case, brought by special counsel Jack Smith, involves Donald Trump's allegations of Trump's interference in the 2020 presidential election, right? So Donald Trump, he just wanted to attend the Supreme Court hearing in Washington, D.C., but of course he couldn't, because the judge, Juan Merchan, in his New York trial, he required him to be in court every single day of the trial. So apparently Juan Merchan thinks he is above the Supreme Court. The level of arrogance is just astounding. You know what I'm saying, people? So anyway, Donald Trump managed to break free just for a little bit, and he shared some words with us. The Jughead 1, thank you so much for the huge $5, I should say €5 super chat. Much love, my man. Thank you so much. The Jughead 1 says, "Hi Ron, love and respect from the UK, bro." Appreciate you, my man. I see you, man. I see you. Appreciate you. All right. So let's hear from Donald Trump real quick, because Donald Trump actually shared some words with us right after, kind of right outside the trial.
In the meantime, I'm at this trial. My constitutional rights have been taken away from me. And that's why the stock market's down so big today. So in the meantime, I'm at this trial. My constitutional rights have been taken away from me. But every single expert, every legal scholar, every respected scholar has said this is no case. There is no case here. This is just a political witch hunt. Thank you very much.
Are you feeling about the Supreme Court argument in the trial? Are you going to do this in Congress?
I think that the Supreme Court has a very important argument before it today. I would have loved to have been there, but this judge would not allow that to happen. I should be there, but he wouldn't allow it to happen. I think he puts himself above the Supreme Court, which is unfortunate, isn't it? But the argument on immunity is very important. The president has to have immunity. This has nothing to do with me. This has to do with a president in the future, for 100 years from now. If you don't have immunity, you're not going to do anything. You're going to become a ceremonial president. You're just going to be doing nothing. You're not going to take any of the risks, both good and bad. I mean, you're going to make some great decisions and save the country. You're going to make some decisions which are unfortunate, but that's the way it is. But you're not going to do anything if you don't have immunity, because otherwise you're going to be prosecuted after you leave office for doing something like going into an area, going into a country, doing lots of things that you wouldn't be doing. And we don't want a ceremonial president. We have to have a real president. And assuming you have the right person, that can make a big difference. You saw that for 4 years when I was president. We were respected all over the world. We had the best economy we've ever had. Everything was good. We had no wars. We defeated ISIS. We had no...
Let me ask y'all, did we have a better economy under Donald Trump, or do we have a better economy currently under President Biden? Just type in Trump if you think that the economy was better under Donald Trump. Type in Biden if you think that the economy is better now under Biden. So yeah, guys, I mean, this is absolutely like just crazy here, guys. So, you know, there's a lot of things going on. So, I mean, wow, a lot of you guys are saying Donald Trump 2024, Trump economy was way stronger. Trump 2024. Man, you guys are flooding it. So speaking to reporters after court, so Donald Trump said, you know, he was forced to be there. But, you know, he found the day very interesting. So, you know, I guess that's just Donald Trump being optimistic. He managed to find the day interesting in spite of the fact he's, you know, all these allegations and you know, coming at him. So he emphasized that the Supreme Court's hearing on the presidential immunity was significant. And he hoped that it would actually show that a president should, in fact, have immunity. Donald Trump also mentioned that if presidents didn't have immunity, well, their role would just be reduced to a ceremonial role where it's like, hey, you know, I get to wear the president's, you know, hat. I get to live in the president's White House or whatever, but you're not really doing anything because you're afraid of being persecuted after you get out of you know, once you get out of the White House. So, you know, it totally makes sense why a president should have some degree of immunity, which he believed was not what the, you know, our country's founders had initially intended. But anyway, so he basically praised the Supreme Court justices, saying that, you know, they were on their game, you know, during the hearing. So that definitely sounded like a very, very big positive win for Donald Trump. Now, Giuliani, Rudy Giuliani, Meadows, Mark Meadows are charged in the Arizona fake elector indictment. Did you guys hear about this? And also, Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg puts YouTube on notice for these online ghost gun tutorials. So, all right, let's talk about Manhattan. Let's talk about DA Alvin Bragg real quick. So, Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg, oh God, this guy. He put YouTube on notice day before yesterday, actually yesterday, for hosting tutorials on how to manufacture these weapons and pushing this type of content about DIY out. And so in a letter to YouTube, CEO Neil Mohan, Bragg noted how in a number of cases before my office, young individuals who are being investigated for these ghost gun possessions and manufacturing tell a very similar story and have explicitly stated that they have learned to build these ghost guns on YouTube, with some learning how to do so in less than an hour. So, quote, the bottom line is that allowing videos on the platform that instruct users on how to create these blah, 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 I'm trying to, you know, paraphrase here, will lead to proliferation of these types of items and the illegal possession by our most vulnerable people. So yeah, so DA Bragg went in on that one there. So, but here's the thing. Rudy Giuliani Mark Meadows charged in this Arizona fake elector indictment case. So an Arizona grand jury handed up a felony charge against Rudy Giuliani, Mark Meadows, and other prominent Trump allies for allegedly attempting to prevent the lawful transfer of power from President Trump to Joe Biden. You see this, guys? They are trying to literally take down anyone and everyone who is in any way connected to Donald Trump. And I told you guys, I called this a long time ago. I was saying this like when the whole $454 million judgment came down from Letitia James. And I was like, you know what? Hey, because a lot of folks were like, well, why don't these billionaires come in, swoop in and help out Donald Trump? Where's the bond companies, rushing in to save him and whatnot? But I warned that, the way New York City is behaving, there's a good chance that a lot of people wanted to help him, but they themselves were afraid of being persecuted and attacked for helping someone that they're trying to take down. So anyway, so I kind of called that a while ago. Dina, thank you so much, madam, for the $2 super chat. I totally appreciate you. God bless you. Dina says Trump 2024. All right, guys. So 7 Trump aides were charged right alongside 11 pro-Trump Arizona Republicans who signed documents purporting to be the state's valid electors in 2020. Make no mistake, guys, this is really happening. In fact, the former president himself is not charged, but is listed as an unindicted co-conspirator. So it's probably only a matter of time before they decide to, charge Donald Trump too. Not really sure how they're going to do this, but they'll probably just add it to his laundry list of charges and be like, hey, you got to show up for court in Arizona next. Yeah. Anyway, so prosecutors accused the 18 defendants of devising a scheme to raise false claims of election fraud to pressure Arizona election officials to overturn Biden's narrow victory in the state. Basically, what they're trying to do is they're bringing up more bogus charges against people in connection with Donald Trump, basically saying that the simple fact that they raised a concern about, hey, are these votes legit? Because I know y'all jokers be stealing votes. They're now claiming that they created some pressure, election fraud related pressure in the Arizona election in order to overturn Biden's narrow victory in the state. Now, come on, guys. This is so dumb. This is like, if you've watched the Super Bowl, if you watched any, NBA game, if it's a close game, especially if it's a close game, and in this case, it was a close victory. It was a close. The votes were so close in the state of Arizona. It was like, a very tight professional sporting event game where you want to scrutinize every call that the ref makes. Was that really a foul in basketball? Was that really offsides in the NFL, in football? Was every call accurate? Was every vote a legitimate vote, right? And so this is all that they were asking because it was such a close call for the state of Arizona. So what do they do now? Well, we're getting close to the November 2024 election. So we need to take down more people around Donald Trump. That's what we're going to do. So that's basically what they did here. So the indictment was dated Tuesday, but became public yesterday, describing lawsuits filed. You had alleged messages to county and state officials and the signing of the fake elector documents in December 2020. Yeah, so each of the 11 pro-Trump electors faced 9 charges, including conspiracy, fraud, and forgery counts. Now it's interesting that they're saying forgery counts in this case against them, because here you have in Georgia, like what? Did you guys know? I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys do know 147,000 votes with unverified signatures for the state of Georgia. 147,000. And here they are over here questioning these individuals for potential, forgery counts. So it's just the hypocrisy and the corruption is just, it's overwhelming at this point. In Arizona and the United States, the people elected Joe Biden as president on November 3rd, 2020. The indictment reads, did you guys think that the American people actually elected Joe Biden in Arizona on November 3rd, 2020? Let me know in the comments. So, yeah. So, yeah, it's I know it's unbelievable, guys. It's absolutely unfreaking real. So, New York appeals court. There's a lot of stuff going on in New York, guys. There is so much going on in New York, and now the New York appeals court overturned Harvey Weinstein's sex crimes conviction and orders a new trial. So it looks like they're trying to let Harvey Weinstein out of jail here. What do you guys think about that? Should Harvey Weinstein get out of jail? Just comment yes or no on that one. The New York Court of Appeals today overturned the sex crimes conviction against Harvey Weinstein, the very powerful Hollywood producer whose downfall stood as a symbol of the hashtag #MeToo movement, and ordered a new trial. So the court, by a vote of 4-3, ruled the testimony of prior bad acts witnesses should not have been allowed because it was unnecessary to establish the defendant's intent, and it served only to establish the defendant's propensity to commit the crimes charged. Yeah. So Weinstein, he's 72 years old. He was convicted in 2020, and he was ultimately sentenced to 23 years in prison. He has maintained his innocence and denied any consensual blah 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 activity. Okay. So the Manhattan District Attorney's Office said it plans to retry the case. So that's what's going on here. Weinstein will soon be taken from the correctional facility to Manhattan Court, and his trial will start anew with a new judge and prosecutor, a new defense attorney, Arthur Idala. And yeah, so all this came out in a recent news conference. They're saying that he's unlikely to be released because he was sentenced last year in Los Angeles to 16 years in prison for charges, which we mentioned earlier. The trial similarly used prior bad acts that witnesses have also appealed. So I got to ask you guys, what do you guys think about Harvey Weinstein, though? Let me see. Scott2412 says, how much house money did Harvey pay? That's a good question, because he's got a lot of it. And he's got the money to get himself special treatment. We know about that. So, they're going to go ahead and start this up. Man, there's so many big trials that are up in New York going on right now. What's going on, Fed Up Patriot? I see you, man. You guys want me to stay on top of this Harvey Weinstein trial as well? Let me know if you want me to stay on top of the updates on this Harvey Weinstein trial as well. Just type in Harvey in the comments down below. I want to make sure I'm getting you guys the updates that you care about. Yeah, so it goes on to say that Weinstein is very grateful, according to the attorneys. Yeah, do you guys buy this? Do you buy this? Grateful sentiment from Harvey Weinstein? I don't know him personally, but the charges, the allegations, they're kind of horrendous, and there's a lot of people who came out saying these different things. I didn't really follow the case when it was happening originally, but I'm definitely going to be following this retry coming up. So you guys let me know what you think. But anyway, guys, I appreciate y'all watching. If you haven't already, do your boy a favor, hit the like button for the video. It only takes a second. If you haven't already, do subscribe and hit that notification bell. Join the notification squad. Thank you so much for all my new members who have hit the join button down below. And as always, thank you so much for sharing these videos on Facebook and YouTube. You guys are absolutely nothing short of amazing. I hope you guys have a great night. All right.